Have you ever had one of those "I'm finally healing" phases? You delete old photos, start journaling at 2 a.m., maybe buy a self-help book you swear you'll actually finish this time. You tell yourself, "I'm working on me." And for a while, it feels productive, clean, almost cinematic. But then, why does the same trigger still ruin your day? Why does one small comment still hit that old bruise? Why does your brain still replay that memory like it's a Netflix show stuck on autoplay? So here's the uncomfortable question. Are you actually healing, or are you just really good at distracting yourself? Let me explain. Your brain hates pain. Not just physical pain, but emotional pain too. Rejection, shame, regret, grief. Your brain processes those in many of the same neural pathways as physical injury. To your nervous system, heartbreak isn't poetic, it's a threat. So what does your brain do when something feels threatening? It looks for escape. And in 2026, escape is everywhere. Scrolling, gym glow-ups, new year, new me, productivity hacks, situationships, even healing content. Yes, sometimes even videos like this. Distraction isn't always obvious. Sometimes it looks responsible. You start working 12-hour days, you say you're focusing on your future, you start dating someone new 3 weeks after a breakup and call it moving on. You meditate, but only long enough to feel calm, not long enough to actually sit with what hurts. Distraction feels active. Healing feels uncomfortable. Here's the difference. Distraction moves your attention away from pain. Healing moves you toward it. One avoids, the other processes. When you're distracting yourself, your brain stays in avoidance mode. The amygdala, the little alarm system in your head, still flags the old wound as dangerous. You just keep it buried under noise. But when you allow yourself to sit with the emotion, name it, feel it in your body, something different happens. The prefrontal cortex, your rational, reflective brain, starts integrating the experience. The memory gets reconsolidated. The emotional charge slowly lowers. It's like the difference between shoving clothes into a closet versus actually organizing it. From the outside, the room looks clean either way, but open that door too fast and everything falls on you. Have you ever noticed how being busy can feel strangely addictive after something painful? That's dopamine at work. When your life feels chaotic inside, quick hits of productivity, likes, messages, or achievements give you tiny spikes of relief. Your brain goes, "Ah, good, we're okay." But it's temporary. The underlying wound stays untouched. Real healing is slower. It's awkward. It's the long silence after you admit, "That really hurt me." It's crying over something you thought you were over. It's realizing maybe you weren't angry, maybe you were embarrassed or afraid or grieving the version of yourself that no longer exists. And here's the part no one likes. Healing often feels worse before it feels better, because when you stop distracting yourself, the volume goes up. You notice how lonely you've been. You notice the resentment you've been swallowing. You notice how much of your personality has been built around not being rejected again. But this is where growth actually begins. When you face pain directly, your nervous system slowly learns, "This feeling won't kill me. I can survive it." That's emotional resilience, not pretending you're fine, not posting cryptic quotes about protecting your peace, but sitting with discomfort long enough that it transforms instead of hardens. Think about physical wounds. If you keep covering an infection with a clean bandage but never clean it, it looks okay on the surface, but underneath it festers. Healing requires exposure, air, sometimes even pain. Emotionally, it's the same. Now, don't misunderstand me. Distraction isn't evil. Sometimes it's necessary. Right after a traumatic event, your brain needs stabilization. You can't process everything at once. The problem is when distraction becomes your identity, when staying busy replaces self-examination, when self-improvement becomes self-avoidance. Ask yourself this gently. When you're alone, with no phone, no music, no one to impress, how do you feel? Restless? Numb? Anxious? At peace? Your answer tells you more than your productivity ever will. Healing isn't aesthetic. It's not always inspiring.
Sometimes it looks like canceling plans because you need to feel something fully. Sometimes it looks like apologizing or forgiving or admitting you contributed to your own pain in ways you didn't want to see. And here's the hopeful part. If you've been distracting yourself, that doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain was trying to protect you. Avoidance is a survival strategy. It kept you functional. It kept you moving. But you're not just trying to survive anymore, are you? You're trying to understand yourself. So maybe the real shift isn't asking, am I healed yet? Maybe it's asking, am I willing to feel what I've been running from? Healing isn't a performance. It's a quiet, internal process where you slowly become less afraid of your own emotions, where your past stops controlling your present reactions, where you respond instead of react. And if this made you pause, even a little, that's not distraction, that's awareness. Tell me in the comments, when you're honest with yourself, do you think you've been healing or just staying busy? And if you're ready to go deeper into how your mind really works, stick around. We're just getting started.